going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Max Factory Figma action figure, Dark Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! Really happy I have Dark Magician Girl in hand. You can see she does come with quite a few accessories. Alternate faces, the spellbook, her wand, alternate set of legs, and then of course Dark Magician Girl here. On the side we do have a really beautiful image of the Dark Magician Girl. Another image of Dark Magician Girl up here at the top, at the bottom, same one as the top. And then we have images of the figure right here, showing off the various poses she can do, and of course Yugi, which we've already had a look at. So really happy I have this girl in hand. What we're going to do is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll go on to the rest of her review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Dark Magician Girl posing out of the packaging. Before we get on to the figure, let's actually show off her accessories, because she does come with and I mean a lot of accessories. So let's actually move her off screen so we can go on to her accessories. The first accessory we'll cover is her magic formula. This is actually a spell card that Yugi plays, and it's a really nice accessory. I mean, from a distance, if you didn't know that there was a translucent piece of plastic there, it would look like a floating book, so that's actually really cool. They did a really good job sculpting magic formula here. You can see it has a keyhole right there where it would tab on if it closed, and camera's getting out of focus. See all the feathers, they're sculpted beautifully. Just a lot of detail on this side of the book. When you turn it around, it's an empty book, and I don't know, just maybe something here, like maybe a Dark Magician print and maybe a Dark Magician Girl print here would have been nice, but as it stands, since you're mainly going to have it displayed facing something like this, I'm pretty sure not too many people will complain that the book is empty, but yeah, most people are going to have it displayed where the cover of the book is facing out, so it's not that big of a deal. So with that out of the way, okay, before we go on to the next accessory, it does have a ball joint right here, so it can move around. Be aware of how you have it posed. Depending on the center, you're going to have to finagle with it. But once you get it upright, it stays upright and it looks pretty awesome. So with that out of the way, let's actually move on to her next accessories. As with all Figma figures, we do get this really nice Figma stand. I don't know if you can see it all the way. Let's actually zoom in. It does say Figma right here, and then made in China. It gives all the licensing here. It's a three-piece stand, so it has one upright with 3 hinges on it, so you can get a lot of good poses in it with it, so you can have her in quite a few dynamic poses. It does come with this attachment, which if you don't want to stick this piece right into her back, you can always attach this piece. I actually found it easier to stick this part into the back of Dark Magician Girl, because this one is at an angle, and it really is harder to get this one into her back than it is this one. But it's a really nice stand, and I'm really glad that we get them with Figma figures, because some of them do need it. But anyway, with her stand out of the way, let's move back onto the figure. So starting with the head of Dark Magician Girl, let's actually show off some of her features. Her hat is removable, so if you want to have her pose without the hat, or maybe like tipping her hat, you can do that. The only problem is there is a big square in the back of her head. You can see that's the tab. And once you get it tabbed in, it's a really tight fit, although it is a little tricky getting it in there, but once it's in there, you can see it's a really nice tight fit, so I do like that. We'll take that off for the moment. She does come with a total of 3 faces, so we have this neutral face that we have pose on her. We have this one where she's looking off to the side, and then we have this face where it's winking, which it's really cute and adorable. And switching out the faces is pretty easy. You just want to pull the front of her hair off. The face comes off as easy as you'd expect. Tab in the new face that you want to replace it with. Tab the hair back in. And then you can attach her hat. And once it's all together, we have Dark Magician Girl with a new face. So that looks pretty awesome, and This is probably the face I'm going to have her pose with. But anyway, let's actually continue with the rest of the figure review. Dark Magician Girl comes with a total of 9 hands. We do get these 2 fist hands which came on her in the packaging. Although they're not really fist hands, they're kind of like balled up like this, so it's not a true fist. This is a fist, this is like a soft fist, so I think that's pretty cool. Not only do we get the hands, but we also have this hand rack, which you can see the other hands she comes with are fully on display. We do have this relaxed hand, 2 peace sign hands, which look really cool, 2 hands that are going to be used to hold her staff, and then 2 style pose hands. And then with Dark Magician Girl, they also threw in this added peg, so if something goes wrong with one of your other pegs, you do have this option. And it's just nice that we get additional pegs, just in the event that one breaks. And switching your hands is quite easy. Just take the hand that you want to use and attach it to the proper side. And there you go. So that's how her hands work. So let's actually move on to her next accessory, since we have this hand on. The next accessory we're going to be taking a look at is her staff, or magic wand, whatever you want to call it. And it is really nicely detailed. Let's actually show it off. You can see the top is painted with this really nice bronze. It's not really gold, but it's not really bronze. It's somewhere in the middle of both of them. I know on camera it looks gold, but in person it's... The best way I can describe it is like it's almost like pink gold. That's the way I would put it. And then it does have a blue staff. And then again that bronze pink gold color that we have right here. To get into her hand, you just simply take the top of the staff off, like so. And you just want to take that and slide it into her hand. And then just to finish the effect, you do want to put the top back on. And then we have Dark Magician Girl posed with her magic wand, which looks really, really cool. And it's just so much better when she has a staff in hand. But anyway, that's Dark Magician Girl's staff for you. So what we're going to do now is move on to her final accessories. The final accessory that Dark Magician Girl comes with are these alternate legs. Now these are actually really folded up legs that you can have her posed with. Just to give you an example, these exceed the range that she can normally get. You can see that's how far her knee normally bends. This one is permanently sculpted like this, and it actually looks better than the way the joint looks. Now to switch out her legs, you do want to pop her leg off, which is a little difficult because of the skirt piece. And once it comes off, you're going to want to take her foot right here and pull off her boot. Be aware of which way the boot goes on, because it's going to be a little tricky getting the boot on the foot. The way you're supposed to do it is take the top part of the boot and press it as far as you can go. It is molded so that you can actually slide this part right here. Then once everything is lined up, you take the rest of her boot and you just slide that on, like so. And then you're going to want to pop that leg back on, which is a little tricky because it is pre-posed, but once you get it on, let's see if I can do this. Okay, there. Well, and it came off. Just give me one moment. Okay, with everything all put together, this is the effect that you get. You can see it does provide a really nice effect, and you can actually get her in like floating positions now, which is pretty cool. I just have her standing like this. But overall, a really great feature. I'm really glad they did include the alternate legs, because this is probably how I'm going to have my Dark Magician Girl posed. But with that said, guys, let's actually take everything off and go back to the figure so we can finally have a look at Dark Magician Girl. So here we have Dark Magician Girl fully posed without her stand, and as you can see, she actually does stand pretty well on her own. There are some times where she will get back heavy because of her cape and the way her skirt is, but once you can find that center of gravity, she stands pretty well. The stand does come into play when you get her in more dynamic poses, but stationary poses, she looks really nice and really awesome. Now let's actually go on to some of her details while we're here. Moving up to the camera, to her face, you can see once again a really beautiful face sculpt on Dark Magician Girl, and there's some stuff on the back of my recording studio. But really loving this face. I think Dark Magician Girl looks really beautiful, and it looks just like the anime, which is so... It's mind-boggling how Figma was able to recreate the anime look and bring it into 3D, because nothing is lost on her. You can even see the detail in her hair is there. Even when we go to the back of her hair still has detail. So that's really nice, really wonderful. You can see she has her pentagram right here. It is a little off-centered, and I have noticed that when you line up her costume right, it tends to line up, but if you have it slightly off, it turns a little off too, so just be aware of how you have her posed, and it'll be good. You can see her wristbands right here. It does feel like her wristbands are separate pieces, and they probably are because I'm rotating them underneath, and yeah, her little forearm guards are separate pieces, so that's pretty cool. You can see her little belt is also nicely done. It does seem like mine is a little off-centered. Just might be the way I have her posed. And then we can go into her legs. The skirt is... it's not really soft, but it's soft enough that it'll get out of the way for posing. Then we go on to her boots, which are the same, carry that same design, blue with the pink on it. We do have some gold buttons right there. So overall, a really, really beautiful figure. Really well done, I might add. Figma took a lot of care sculpting this figure, and I'm really glad that it came out as good as it did. So let's move on to her articulation. She does have a hinged neck, or a hinge in the head, which you're not going to get too much articulation out of that. It does tilt side to side slightly, and up and down slightly. That's mainly because her hair is sculpted in a way that it hinders all that movement. You can get her looking down quite a bit, but up poses, not so much. And turning your head left and right is also tricky, once again, due to her hair sculpt. So be aware that her hair sculpt, does interfere with articulation. She does have the same Figma ball joints in the shoulders, so we can drop that joint down or up. Let's actually show that off so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a ball going into her torso, which gives her that slight up and down movement, but it's also on a hinge, so it goes out. She can't do a full 360. She gets up to about here, then her shoulder piece gets in the way, and it is a really firm plastic, so be aware that you're not going to get too much posability going upwards. Outwards, no problem, but forwards and back, it is hindered quite a bit. She does have a bicep swivel up here at the shoulder. We also do get a swivel right here in the elbow. She has a single bend in the elbow, but we do get a little better than 90. Again, her forearm guards, let's actually see how that works. So the hand comes off, this piece comes off, and then can this piece... no, it doesn't look like this piece is separate from the forearm. So it looks like this piece, if you were to take her gauntlet off, that you would actually have her missing half her forearm, which, now that we know how that works, I now understand that this swivels, so we get movement out of that. Her hand is on a ball hinge, although you really don't get the best range in it. You're mainly going to get in and out like that, but up and down you're not going to get too much. Let's see, let's move that joint a little so we can get some up and down movement, and yeah, we do get a little bit up and down, so pretty good range there. Her torso is on a ball joint, so let's move the camera out. She can go back that far forward. She does tilt side to side, and we do get a little bit of swivel right there. Actually a good range of movement there. You can see just how much twist is in that joint. So that's pretty good. Then we also do get another ball joint down here in her waist. You can see it leans side to side. It also swivels, moves forward and back. So we can actually pose her really well. It's pretty much standard Figma joints from her ball joint going into the torso and going up into her diaphragm joint. She does have a thigh swivel. Legs go forward, back, and out. They are on that ball hinge and you can swivel that joint. She has really good range in the knee. Goes about that far. And again, you can actually switch out her leg to get a deeper bend. But be aware, you do have to do some finagling with it. So that's pretty good. We do kind of sort of get a boot swivel. So that's pretty cool. And we have that standard Figma joint for the ankle. So pretty good articulation all around on Dark Magician Girl. I'm really happy with this purchase. So what we're going to do now is get Dark Magician Girl posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up her review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Dark Magician Girl posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I really do love this figure, and I am really glad I picked her up. It actually took me a while to get around to reviewing her. I honestly thought I had her review ready to go, but I was looking through my computer. I never reviewed her. I've actually had her for quite some time, and now reviewing her, I'm kind of sad that it took me this long to show it off to you guys, because she is such a beautiful figure and really well done. Like I said, it's really something when they can take something from an anime and make it into a figure, especially a figure as nice as these. You can see I have Yugi posed here in the back, and Dark Magician Girl is just so phenomenal. I'm blown away by her. I kind of wish we also get a Dark Magician now. I know they've already scheduled Kaiba to be the next Yu-Gi-Oh character out. Hopefully we get some of Kaiba's monsters, maybe a Voice Raider or Battle Ox, just something, because I really do like the fact we're getting characters and actual cards, because, you know, it isn't Yu-Gi-Oh if you don't have the monsters to go with the players. But overall, I really do recommend Dark Magician Girl, especially if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan or you're just a fan of really fantastic figures, because she is a really beautiful piece. Now, if I recall, she did cost about $60, maybe even $70. I think I canceled Samus so I could get Dark Magician Girl, and I'm actually really happy with the way Dark Magician Girl came out. If you want to pick her up, she is still available on Big Bad Toy Store, which is where I picked mine up. I know if you ordered directly from Figma, you got the added Burning Magic attack, but, you know, I'm happy with what we got. This is still a really nice figure and really well done. I can't recommend her enough, guys. And so I'm just going to wrap up my review here. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out all my other figure reviews. All my Figma figures are also up, so go ahead and check those out. While you're at it, leave me a comment letting me know what you think of Dark Magician Girl. Do you think she's as wonderful as I say, or do you think she has some problems? Because she does have some problems, but I think the pros outweigh the cons in this situation. But let me know down in the comments, and as always, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000, and I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.
My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.